Welcome to Hospice Explained. This podcast is intended as an educational aid and is only a resource to begin to understand the end-of-life season. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Please always seek advice from your physician or qualified members of your healthcare team with any questions regarding a medical condition.
Hello and welcome to Hospice Explained. I'm your host, Marie Betcher. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a former hospice nurse, and I created this podcast to educate patients and families on hospice and the end-of-life season. On last week's episode, I had Yvonne Caputo. Yvonne shared about the 5 wishes and how doing those with her dad just made all the difference for her and his end-of-life experience and how she was able to help him do exactly what he wanted. And so I just wanted to go over the 5 wishes in just a little detail. You can find them at 5wishes.org. You can also find it at agingwithdignity.org. And the 5 wishes you can purchase for $5, really manageable price. And then you can do that with a loved one or several loved ones. And you can make this notarized, and then your loved ones will be able to they will know that they're doing what you wanted because you've taken the time to have these conversations. The first wish is the person I want to make care decisions for me when I can't. So who do you want to be your voice, and who are you going to tell your choices to be that voice? You want it to be somebody you trust. You want it to be somebody that's going to do what you want. People choose all sorts of different folks. I've known some people to choose a sibling, for example, instead of a child, or just a child instead of a sibling, or not a spouse. I've seen lots of different things. In the end, make sure it's the person who's going to make the decisions that you would have made for yourself. You have to tell them your decisions too. I think that's the biggest part. You have to have the conversation. And that's why this is a sit down and do it with somebody else kind of project. Number 2, the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want. I've talked about this a lot in Hospice Explained. Pulsed form, POLST.org. That one is really excellent for going over the kind of medical treatment you want or don't want. And these are great pieces. And it's really important to research a little bit or a lot, depending on yourself, to know what you want and to know what might happen, right? If you're not medical, you need to know what could happen so that you can make a choice how much and how far the treatment you want. Number 3, how comfortable you want to be. What is it that makes you comfortable? Is it having Star Trek on the background? Is it worship music? Is it just having your family being in the same room as your family so you can hear their voices? They can go on with daily life and you're just in the same room, or you're in a nearby room and you can hear them while you're kind of in a sleepy state. It's just your choice. Do you want to be in a hospital bed only at the very last few days? Do you want to be in your own bed at home? Do you want to be in your bedroom? Do you want to be in an adult family home? Do you want to be at a child's home? Do you want to be at a sibling's home? Those are just minimal examples, but comfort. What is comfort to you? What makes you comfortable? Aromatherapy, a scent that makes you feel at ease. Warm or cool wash rags on your forehead. Things like that. How I want people to treat me. That's just an individual choice, but you definitely want, if you have something really specific in mind that is important to you, please tell your family, tell your loved ones. And finally, the 5th wish is what I want my loved ones to know. I really was impressed with Yvonne's dad. His answer was, I want my children to know how much I love them. What's the most important? And Yvonne's experience post with her dad is so wonderful because she knew how much her dad loved her. She tells us that she had a hard relationship, and this doing the 5 wishes and some other things as he aged, Yvonne just really appreciated knowing how much her dad loved her. It's okay to speak the unspoken, right? Sometimes people just assume everybody, well, of course I love you. Well, sometimes it's still nice to hear. So things like that. But what else might you want your loved ones to know? You may want them to know where to put certain items, to give certain items away. You know, it's not all about money. Sometimes it's about personal items. Maybe you would really like to donate some items to a charity of your choice beyond financials. But you should also, of course, make sure your family knows your financial business too. That is kind of a separate situation. But this gives you an opportunity to name things in the 5 wishes. Again, it's just a $5. And I really appreciate you, audience, for listening. Audience, if you have a story you want to share on Hospice Explained, please email me, Marie, at hospiceexplained.com. I would love to share stories. Please do not feel like you have to have a professional equipment or just a willingness to share a story. And if you wanted to email me the story and I could read it, I'm fine with that too. However you want, we all grow and learn by others' stories and examples. Thanks for listening. Thank you for joining me on Hospice Explained. Think about ways you can make a difference in someone's life. Also, please subscribe and share this podcast with anyone who would benefit from listening. Thank you.